All right, what's up, everyone? I'm here with Fiendcore, AI creator on social media. He makes these creature videos that are blowing up, this style of videos, but he's kind of one of the people that stand out for me, at least one of the first creators I saw in this space. And yeah, Fiendcore, if you want to introduce yourself and kind of what you do and where people can follow you, and we'll get started.
Yeah, well, I go by Fiendcore on most social medias except for Instagram and YouTube. I go Fiendcore93. I make all sorts of content, but yeah, lately I've been doing a lot of the creepy creatures and found footage, I guess you'd say, cryptids, stuff like that. And yeah,
Awesome. So how long have you been in the AI space, and how did you find out about the AI space?
um, I've been doing it for probably almost a year now, or yeah, roughly almost a year. And how I found out about it was just, well, I wanted to be a content creator doing all sorts of different stuff like gaming, sort of stuff like that, live streaming, and you know, just stuff like that. And then my friend showed me this AI like music video style stuff, and I love music, so I was like, man, that's pretty cool. I want to try that. And I seen that I could actually do like horror stuff too. Being a huge horror movie fan, it just kind of seemed like a no brainer.
Yeah, that's cool. How long have you been wanting to be a creator?
I mean, I guess since I was, I guess 6, 7 years now. Ever since I
Wow,
seen that it
okay.
was actually like, it's actually possible. It's not just, only a famous person kind of thing to
Yeah.
do. Like you can actually become one, even if you're a nobody like I was.
Yeah, that's kind of something I saw people doing even before AI was a thing, was automation channels, but this really blew it out, like, and blew it up, right? So that's crazy. And you're in college now, or are you working?
Oh no, I'm work. I have a work from home job, and then I'm doing this on. I'm basically just about to do this full time now, making
Wow.
AI content and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's dope. So okay. Who were your first inspirations when you saw, or when you got into creating, like, what is it, like text to video? Yeah.
Yeah, text to video.
Mm.
Well, see, I started out with the image to video actually.
Okay.
Let's see, inspirations. I would probably have to say I watched a lot of Latent Places. His stuff was pretty much like what
Hmm.
I do now, but it was different.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
trying
that's
to think
cool.
of some of the big ones like that really I could sit here and honestly say they inspired me, but Latent
Yeah.
Places is definitely one of them.
Now I've heard of them. I mean, they're on
Yeah.
TikTok, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, I mean, this space blew up when I think when the images when Midjourney started dropping their generators, we kind of could see into this present, like how it would apply to videos one day, and now we're seeing it happen. Like, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's great. Like giving everybody abilities to like create all these, like I know people are gonna probably flame me for saying art, but that's what to me it's what I
Yeah.
feel like it is. And yeah, I mean, we started out, we had like what, Pika Labs, which was that
Mm.
was what most people were using for text to video early on. That's what I started out like after doing Copilot. I was using Copilot, Dolly 3, and I think it was Comfy UI or Stable Diffusion to animate the images and stuff, or manually animating them with DaVinci.
There's so
And then,
many. There's so
yeah,
many, right?
yeah, there's so many. I just can't even remember them all.
That's wild. Wow, that was a while ago,
Oh yeah.
and it wasn't even that long ago. It's
No,
like that's how fast everyone's shipping. It's
just
kind of
about a
wild.
year ago. Just give it another year, we making movies.
Yeah, I think people are starting to, kind of,
Oh yeah.
uh, they're kind of starting to split off into their clicks and then just create like movies now. Like I'm starting to see that. Like, oh wow, like my team and I, we're an AI video team. It's like holy crap, it's begun.
Oh yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's more of like on YouTube though. That's where they do the movies and stuff. Because TikTok, it's like you're just doing the short videos and trying to get as many
yeah,
views as possible.
yeah. That's the hard part. That at least for me, when creating AI, is like okay. There's the long term plan of like what I really want to do, and then there's like the short term plan of getting views. How do you balance that, or is there a long term kind of thing that you want to do? Like, you want to do feature films? Do you want to create like anime? What are you thinking of making in the future?
Starting out, my plan was like, let's see if I can actually do this and actually make enough money to where I could potentially quit my day job and, do this for a
Yeah.
living. Money was starting out, that was the goal, like starting out. Then as more and more doing it, I started thinking like, well, I don't want to say too much about, TikTok per
Hmm.
se, but I'll just say this much. My plan has quickly changed from trying to make money to get as many followers as possible. And I've seen that that's better with shorter content than sitting out doing, well, you can make money on TikTok. You can make good money. It just depends where your content is getting pushed to, what
Mm.
niche you're in. Like basically like if companies can put ads on your stuff and market it well, that's what's really gonna get you the money. But if you're trying to do what you like doing, you're gonna have to start looking at options between, okay, what do I value more, money, or do I value, building a platform that can potentially give me even more money type stuff.
Yeah.
And
I see a lot of AI people doing like Patreons too, or
subscription.
subscriptions.
Yep. Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one thing they do.
Do you think that's the future for content,
I
for like
don't,
community?
it's so early on, man. It's hard to say like what future is for, but I think I just see everyone starting either you're gonna see like you're gonna have your short little quick clips on TikTok, and then you're gonna have like either short films or full length movies on like YouTube and everywhere else.
You
But
think the future is vertical or horizontal? What does the format matter?
mm, I think for the longer films and stuff, it's going to be obviously like, YouTube style stuff. So
Mm.
horizontal and then, but for your shorter stuff, I still say vertical probably. I don't know. I mean, I've done the whole, when TikTok had that feature where you can actually do the
Hmm.
16 the 9 instead of 9/16, but it just never, for me, it never picked up. So I just stuck with the whole 9 to 16.
Yeah, that never caught on. I realized. I still
Mm.
see that. Yes, there are channels that do it, but they don't. They don't.
Popped off when Runway 3 came out because that's all it offered. And it
Oh.
was just so good of a AI software that people made exceptions.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like in general on TikTok, they released that vertical to horizontal thing, and
Yeah.
I noticed there were more creators just uploading horizontal videos vertically rather than just doing that whole full screen feature. But who knows?
Yeah, I haven't really seen that too much personally. Honestly, like I mean,
Yeah.
you probably scouted out more than I have, but like in my niche and stuff, all I see is like 9/16. I've seen some try the 16:9, and it never
Mm.
caught on. It seemed like it did more harm than good for us whenever we'd upload those videos, and it's like people didn't want to watch it in that that kind of way. But
Yeah.
you know,
Do you automate any part of your process through GPTs or other way?
I use it to like if I'm like when I was really using Midjourney a lot and creating
Yeah.
images, and I would like try to sit there and think of like, okay, what's the next thing I can do? Because when you're doing like Dreamcore and stuff, you got to really be almost out of your mind to be able to like process or think of like
Mm.
the style or what you're going to even show and be able to use GPT to like basically come up with stuff that you can never think of. I used it for
Mm.
that. And now, what I've been
Give me an
doing
example.
lately,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. Give me an example of that. How it's been mismatching or mishmashing ideas you never could have imagined, and then we'll continue from what you wanted to say.
Well, you just like you'll pick like for example, like when I was doing Dreamcore or Dark Fantasy, you would take like one of your prompts and say like, okay, give me more like this, but do it in this style or do it in that style or make the characters this or that, and then it will come up with the rest of it for you and still keep your prompt. And you just
Mm.
take that and upload it to Midjourney, and that's how you can create a whole video just doing that. Or the
Mm.
other, well, I guess the other way I was doing it was just straight up Midjourney, just using chaos, the keyword chaos, and it would randomly give you all sorts of different stuff. And now lately though, I've been using just AI audio stuff, and that's how I've been generating my own sounds for my creature films that seem actually like where the sound like matches the movement and everything else.
Do you use 11 Labs for that?
I've been using like audio and just different things here and there that I found worked.
Wow, Audio. Ah, interesting. I'll have to look into that. I've been using 11 Labs like religiously.
It's good too.
And
Well, there's another one I cannot think the name of. It starts with an
mm,
E or something. You can probably look it up, or an A. It's like, oh, because I looked it up, found it through Copilot. I've been using it as well, and it's
yeah.
really, really good. 11 Labs, that was like peak for anything text to, like when you're doing
Mm.
text to speech stuff. 11 Labs is goaded.
Yeah, I mean, I still use it for text to speech. They have voice design now where you can just like describe the kind of voice you want, and it'll just spit it out to different generations for you. When you just choose the best one, the sound effects one, you could change how many seconds you want the sound effects to be in total, and it'll just generate 4 different kinds of sound effects based on what you typed. I'm a
Mhm.
huge fan of that, and I've been like obsessive using 11 Labs, but that's wild, yeah.
Did they finally get
Um,
the whole like where it doesn't sound so AI like whenever you do it now? Because that was the
yeah.
biggest thing when I was starting out. Is like you could
Mhm.
just that it's that iconic voice you hear from 11 Labs whenever somebody's using it, and but it's been
Yeah.
so much time since then because I really stopped using sound effects like text to speech. Whenever I started doing more of the dark fantasy stuff, I just started using music, and that's all I would do.
Yeah, dark fantasy, man. Have you thought about like keeping that brand, but doing like an 80-20 split, just like 20% on dark fantasy, 80% on Fiendcore stuff? That'd be cool. And then you
Mm,
could make money doing different niches in that space. Because it's
I
still
mean,
trending. It's just not as many people do it anymore. I see.
it's kind of funny that you say that, is because that's like basically what I did from when I started
Mm.
doing it using Midjourney. I fused dark fantasy with dreamcore and fever dream with also just a splash of horror, just enough to like, make it kind of creepy. And the only
Mm.
problem with it, at least on TikTok, which that's where I'm mostly, that's where I was mostly trying to blow up on first,
Hmm.
is like they have this new, like, I'm sure you've seen it, the dark fantasy movies and stuff, like where they'll take like a TV show or movie and they'll make it into a dark fantasy, like
Trailer,
realistic
right?
looking, almost like a live action kind of, yeah, trailer. And
Well,
it
like a montage, right? Of like
yeah,
different scenes.
those things look like slideshows to me personally. I did not like them because like what I was doing, if you go back and watch my old stuff, I was doing dark
Mm.
fantasy that looked like a movie. And
Mm.
but what dark fantasy that's now is like what's trending. So it's almost like if you do dark fantasy any other way, and if you don't use that one trademark song that I cannot
Mm.
stand,
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun- Yeah, I mean, I played around with it when it was hot.
So much. Oh my God, I cannot stand that song from just having to hear it. Because like when you're editing videos, you have to listen to it 100 times over just to make sure that it's all in sync.
Hmm.
That's why I don't like that song anymore.
It's brilliant though. I mean,
It's
I wonder how much that creator made just from
oh
that.
no, it's a great song, but it's just like as a creator, personally, having to hear it so
Yeah,
much, like myself, it's just like, man, I
I
really wish
understand.
there'd be a new song come out. And
So what do you use to edit? Because I use Filmora a lot. I think it's really worked for me.
that's actually funny. I was using CapCut until it got banned, and I like a full deleted the app. Guess what I'm
Mm.
using now? Filmora.
Yeah, I've been using Filmora since like 2019, pre 2019. I don't
Hmm.
remember when, but it's so good. I mean,
I like it
because
so
even
far.
5 years ago, yeah, even 4 years ago, it's like the UI simple. That's all I needed
Hmm.
was like to cut my comedy stuff. But like, how are you using it, and what have you seen it be able to do with AI? Have you used AI features in it?
Well, for the longest, like I said, I was using CapCut, and it was just so simple for me because I don't do much. Like, all I have to do is like line up song or clips to like beats of a song so it transitions just right. Like, so it's like, I mean, if you're doing it, you know what I'm talking about. If you ever like
Yeah.
watch some of those videos, it's like as soon as you hear like a snare or something like that, that's when the transition starts. CapCut
Yeah.
had the nicest feature for that because you could just like set these auto beats and it would automatically like you'll drag it over and you'll feel it vibrate if you're using mobile and you can
Hmm.
easily time your stuff. But I've been using Filmora lately and I will say it
It's so
doesn't have
good.
that feature that at least I've not found it.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't do that much like to my videos is the thing. I never have. Like I've always just used
Yeah.
like one filter, cut clip, time it, add another clip, extract sound, drag over. So I don't use much filters or video effects, which I probably could and do better, but
Do
don't
you
fix it.
How many times do you upload a day? So, how do I say this? How many total uploads do you have across how many platforms in total for each day? And how long does each video take you to create from the idea to upload?
Mm. That's a really hard to answer question because before I could tell you, I used to always do like one every
Yeah.
4 hours, except unless I'm asleep or,
Mm.
doing something else. I'd always try to upload at least once every 4 hours. And nowadays, it doesn't take me long at all to make a video because I don't do much editing. All I do is generate clip, generate sound, take all that, put it together, and then upload. So now I've been uploading like almost once every hour,
Mm.
just about all
Great.
day long. And then as far as how many total, I know on Instagram alone I have like 230 just because it gives you the number.
Hmm.
And TikTok doesn't show you how many posts you have total, but I've taken all my completed videos that I have saved on my phone because I use my phone honestly to make everything except for getting clips because for some reason whenever you try to do it with your phone, it just the quality diminishes. But it's set on my phone that I had like over 1,000 something like videos
Yeah.
like in my completed. I put it in a completed section, which means I've used it.
Do you use iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
Yeah, me too. I love the iPhone. Everything
Me
is like
too.
everything's connected, right?
Just it's ever since they had iPod Touch, man. Like I tried Android once for my first cell phone, and then I was just like, bro, having music and everything just on your phone like that, iPhones just
Did you
never
see
look back.
the OpenAI update today?
I I don't think I
Dude, you gotta
have,
watch
but
it, bro. You gotta go on YouTube. You gotta see that video. It makes me imagine what like next month would look like from a workflow perspective, where you have a
mm,
keyboard and a mouse. Now they're introducing agents today, right?
mm,
That can use your keyboard and mouse to do stuff for you. So imagine if you
that,
could have that MFer click upload.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? Like, holy shoot, right? Like, that just changes the game. But that's just like kind of my guess as to like, okay, I imagine that's what's going to be possible really soon. Is that,
mm.
hey, hopefully my computer can upload across all platforms without me being
Oh
there. I just
God,
give it instructions.
that alone
Holy
right there
crap!
excites me, man. Just being able to upload all at once, like shit. And that's like the worst
Crazy.
part I think about all this stuff is having to upload across multiple platforms separately. Have you ever heard of
Yeah.
macro coding?
No.
Really, I have a friend that knows all about that shit. It's like if you
Wow.
know how to do coding and stuff, what it does is you can basically have it like paste your prompts. Like okay, so you have a prompt you want to generate an image or whatever. You
Hmm.
just take it over to this thing, this sheet, like a worksheet, paste it, and
Oh.
it basically turns your computer into like a. It'll work for you automatically. Like it'll paste everything for you in all these locations, generate, save, and it'll do everything for you basically.
How do you, is there a
You gotta be
service?
a you gotta be a smart dude to be able to set it up. That's all I gotta say. I'm too dumb for it.
Dude, is there a service that someone uses for that? Dude, that would help me a lot too. Holy
I
crap.
mean, I could probably get my friend to do it for you if you really want to. It's like it basically just does your computer stuff for you. Like it can generate
Good
everything and
God.
it saves it. All you gotta do is basically like any kind of editing process. You
Yeah.
probably have to do that, but it can literally just it can be you for it. Like whatever. Just let your computer run all day and not.
That's insane. What is it called? Macro
Well,
coding?
that's what I think that's what it's called. I don't know if that's the exact thing. It's almost like it's similar to like, you remember whenever all those like botters and stuff were like buying up all the GPUs and stuff whenever like the PlayStation 5 and all that shit was going on? Like they would use this thing and it would like instantly purchase something and add it to their cart and like faster than humans could. And that's how they're
Oh,
able to
wow.
buy all this stuff out. It's basically the same thing as that. It's like just you know how to do coding and stuff like that. I don't know if there's an exact name for the brand he uses, but I just remember him showing me and then walking me through setting it up for my PC. And I
Holy
don't like it
crap.
personally because it's just it can be kind of if you're like let's say you're on Discord trying to chat to somebody, like
Yeah.
anything you're gonna be doing on your computer, you got to kind of like turn all notifications off and make sure nothing pops up that it's not going to recognize. Otherwise, you might get a message sent somewhere that doesn't need to be, or it'll just start messing up. And unless you catch
Yeah.
it, it's just going to sit there and keep doing it over and over and over.
Oh man, that's insane. That would be a nightmare if you give it the wrong input.
But it's not really that doesn't really happen often. Like the benefit of it is though, it's like you can go walk away and do your whole normal daily routine while it does all your dirty work of like generating images or animating and
I mean,
yeah,
I'm
you
already using
just
GPT for that, for the kind of
mm,
the GPT 4.0 tasks. Have you heard of that?
yeah.
Yeah, I've been using tasks just to kind of rearrange my prompts for me.
I
And
usually
then I
try to do
just
mine manually though, but
I mean, yeah, like I would like kind of see the output and then see whether or
Yeah.
not I'm wasting resources by continuing down this direction. And if I am, then I'll just be like, hey, can you not do that? Can you just do this instead? Can you change this? Can you change that for the future outputs? And then it'll just
Yeah.
say like, okay. And then
Yeah,
I'll
that's
after, yeah.
that's essentially like what I was doing all along. Like whenever I would like, try to come up like with the next thing for like my different
Hmm.
videos and stuff. So, like give me a scene of like, for example, like when I was doing Dark Fantasy, it's like you'll do one of like let's say a knight walking to a castle or something like that. You got to describe it better than that. But then it's like, give me
Yeah.
more like this, but make it set into a what's it called, like steampunk environment. So you get like steampunk characters instead or stuff like that.
Dude, I'm
And
jealous of you imaged or text to image people because I'm not that good at or that it feels alien to me to create like text to image versus text to video, you know? And I think I think image to video is going to make a huge comeback like this year. It's going to be I think image to video is going to be mainstream this year more than text to video as far as what I've seen because the quality of images you create, it's like Hollywood quality. And the movements now from image to video is now Hollywood quality. It's like it's seamless, right? And then you
Mhm.
can kind of nail that consistency in the tonality and also the characters. But if you're doing video, then it's a shot in the dark for like half the time, you know?
That's
And you
true.
yeah.
That's
And
true.
then people are just going to create short films and feature films just through image to video because
Yeah.
they can control the cinematic tonality and the style of the camera movement and have the same characters do different things. I don't know, what do you think?
I mean, yeah, if that's like that was the whole reason why I never did. Like, I used image to video for the longest. Like, I've only recently started doing like the creature stuff that you're seeing now. That's purely text to video.
Yeah.
I've only done that since like November. But the only nitpick that I have with image to video was this the movement. Like, if you look at text to video, it's so much smoother and stuff like that. And the
That's true.
other process is like, okay, you got to sit there and generate however long it takes you to make all these images, and then you got to
Mm,
go back and then animate all those images. Whereas text to video, it's like one prompt done. That's like the whole like that's
yeah.
the whole reason for doing text to video is just that it was so much more better movement and motion, and then also just the amount of time it takes to make it.
It's more organic and it's actually harder to find. How do you say this? Do you think it's easier to find a platform that like a good platform that does image to video than it is to find a good platform that does text to video?
Hmm. I
It's kind
mean,
of a hard question, right?
well,
You
it's
know?
like I can sit here and give you like say like
Yeah.
this side or that side, but it's like really it's all opinionated and also it's based on your style. Like it's like some are better for like 2D anime stuff than they are like 3D realistic stuff. Some are better for this or that. And really, I don't think I found one that's like the best of both per se. I know one that's really really solid in both though, and that would be Halo, personally.
Mm,
That's what I was using to animate my images and stuff. And
yeah.
I think honestly, they're like, in my opinion, I'm not sponsored, but I think they're probably like one of the best for image to video right now that I've personally have used. And
Mm, yeah.
that's just my opinion. I mean, I've seen others that are pretty good. I mean, Sora, it's getting there,
Mm.
but I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Sora
hard to say
is
like you
yeah, yeah,
said
yeah.
though. Like you can't just pick one and say like this one's the best because each of them have their own like specialty. I feel like.
Yeah, that's true. I've noticed the trends on different platforms, like on X, right? At
Mhm.
least, dude, there's so much great stuff on X, man. Like so much updates on AI. Gosh, I think what trends there is different than what trends on TikTok. But what trends on TikTok I've noticed usually trends on Reels and Shorts. I usually see the same kinds of content, but I don't know if it's like from Shorts to TikTok to Instagram or from like Instagram to TikTok to short. I don't know the order of that, but like
Mhm.
yeah, currently it's
Um.
like Kling is like popping off like crazy right now,
Oh
man.
yeah. I can tell you
Yeah,
all about that.
yeah, Kling is dope. I love using
On Instagram though, I
that.
noticed that Instagram it seems like more so like it's kind of
Mm,
funny. It's like the stuff I was doing on TikTok before, like the Dreamcore and Dark Fantasy, like using image to
yeah.
video.
Mm,
That on Instagram is popping off way better than image or text to video on Instagram, in my opinion. It's like I'll go through and I'll sit there and I'm like, dude, these dudes are just using image to video. It's like this is like the stuff that I was doing before. And the only reason I stopped is just because it stopped performing as well on TikTok and the amount of
Yeah.
work that goes into it. And it's like, I'm just gonna do text to video. But as far as like
Mm.
things that are trending on TikTok, in the AI world, I really don't watch much of like other people's content on TikTok. I'm more of a YouTube kind of person. But the dark fantasy stuff is still always like people are trying to find new ways to like. I seen one today when I was just scrolling, and it was like
Yeah.
a it was like a cute looking cat in a knight's helmet or wizard hat kind of stuff popping off. The
Yeah.
clean
Yeah.
stuff really pops off on TikTok. I could say that much for a
Dude, cat
fact.
content goes crazy on TikTok. Holy crap! That meow 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 meow. You know, the whole like
Oh, dude,
storytelling.
yes.
But
I
it's so good though. Like I'm
I
sure
did
they
it.
use high-low. I'm very sure they use that because of the jerky movements. You know, like I'm not saying like every video from high-low is jerky, but it's like it's very easy to have the chance of generating one of those if you do like five at a time, right? Like
Yeah.
at least one of them would be kind of like just something happens
Oh
like
yeah, it's never one and done when you're doing
interestingly.
image to video or
Yeah.
even text to video. You get like morphs and stuff. It's like, but I'll say this on Kling, I've literally there I get less morphs and stuff, and I can just like one prompt. As long as you figure out what prompt it is that you're going to use, that gives you good stuff, and you use it over and over, and you can like change just small things. Because the one thing I was going to ask you if you noticed was
Hmm.
I don't know. It just seems to me like AI is getting so much better that prompting is almost, you can almost be like, just literally say what you want without having to use all these details and get exactly what you want. At least that's what I've noticed from text to video.
You know what I've been doing that was interesting is like I have two phones, right? So like
Hmm.
different accounts, different platforms or whatever. And I would like use one phone and then I would like use GPT camera and then I would watch content on the other phone. And I'd be like, describe what's happening in this video. And then I would literally recreate that video,
Hmm.
but it'll be like kind of like almost a recreation using GPT voice and video. Dude, it's so powerful. You can have it
That's
watch
crazy.
videos and then it'll just tell you what it sees. And then it'll be like, did I miss anything? It's like, yeah, there's like a bone over there. There's like it's done in this style. Like it's a wide shot. There's a skeleton like on that corner. It's like, oh, okay. So here's a new prompt. And then it just gives you
That's
like, you know what I'm
insane.
saying? You can have you tried that yet? Just like having
Honestly, I've not, I don't mess with GPT much now just because
dude.
it's like I was saying, you just got a one prompt and done with Kling and that's,
Yeah,
but
but
no, that sounds cool as heck. I'm
right?
gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, because like if you have look, if there's a new trend and somebody like in AI and then somebody creates a video with
Hmm.
AI that you've never seen or imagined could be possible, you just open GPT, open the freaking advanced voice chat, tap the camera icon, and then have it watch it for you. And then
That's wild.
it'll just make it. It'll just make a prompt for you, dude.
That's like the whole Midjourney and all them others, like where you describe an image, it's like that on steroids, man. That's kind of wild.
Yeah, and also I've been using GPT Advanced Video to watch my Twitter feed, and then I would just scroll through. I'm like, hey, I like this picture. Remake it as a text to video or a text to image or something,
Mm,
and then they'll just start
wow.
talking.
Yeah, I
um,
need to play around with GPT more. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Shit.
dude, it's powerful stuff, man. It's powerful. It's
You
fun to
play around with
use.
Sora a lot too, because I know that's part of like GPT's thing now. I've not really tested
Yeah,
it too much.
yeah. I'm on the unlimited plan, so I'm on my second month. It's like I pump out like 5 videos at a time usually for Sora. It's super fast, but it's super
Yeah,
volatile. And when it hits, it's fucking good, like insanely good. And then if it misses, it's like it's it embarrassingly misses. But when it hits the spot, it's really good. Um,
I got a clip I need to show
uh,
you afterwards. I'll send it to you, and you can do whatever you want to with it. It's actually
yeah,
because I just took one of my prompts that I normally use for like clean text to video, and I just put it into Sora because like I was
yeah.
looking at trying different things. Like Sora looks. I love the fact you can get 20-second like
Mm.
videos. That's pretty kind of cool. It's almost a whole video there, and
It is, but it usually breaks it down into a montage of short clips, which is kind of what I
mhm.
was like, what is this? But I know it's gonna get better. But Kling is more expensive, so every time I waste, like every time I get a wrong output, I'm like, dang it, that costed me like $1, you know. Uh,
Mhm.
but when it hits, Kling is king, right? When it hits.
That's what I get all my views with.
That's awesome. Yeah,
I
Kling
wish
is
it'd
good.
hook me up or something, but damn. Because you're right,
Dude,
it's expensive. It's not cheap, but that's like how I feel with
man.
Sora too. Like for the unlimited planets, it's good for us content creators because we put out a lot of videos anyways. Having
Yeah.
unlimited is so good for testing, but at the
Yeah.
same time, it's like it's
Hmm.
not cheap for just a normal person, I guess.
I noticed Sora is really good for like horror content. Like it is insanely good for
Mm,
that. But Kling is good for like everything. But the issue is you cannot. That's why I said image to video is going to blow up, is because
yeah.
Kling, yes, it does have like an underlying like context in like the way it moves is probably the same every time. Same with Hyrule, right? Every app has an interface behind what you see that makes it move the same way or similar way, right? So I know this in Kling, you can't control because look, I was using GPT and I was like, hey, for every one of these future prompts, I want you to change the camera lens, and the lighting style, and also the time period of that equipment, right? And then
Hmm.
I was putting that into Kling, but what happened was Kling gave me the same image style for every one of those. So it's standardized. Like you can't have it be like a Bolex camera from like the however long that was ago, right?
Hmm.
It just spits out that it's like a 4K, it's like an ultra 4K quality, right? Which is good. It's just
Yeah.
there's no variety in the way it looks,
Right.
But it is what it is. I mean, and that's why I say image to video is gonna blow up, is because you can change the camera in the
Like
except the
vintage stuff. Yeah.
yeah yeah except
Yeah.
the interface, the underlying movement, might be Kling like or Hilo like or whatever like. But I think there's it's expensive to have all these platforms, but it's like if you're
Oh,
pumping
don't
out
get
like
me
50 to
started.
100. No, go ahead.
No, no, no.
Um, yeah, that's
Did you ever
wild.
use Pika Labs by chance, like the old, you
Yeah.
said you didn't do too much like text to video, but did you ever use
Hmm.
like the original, I think it's like what, 1.5, the one you used to use on the Discord bot or whatever?
I don't remember playing with it, but
Oh
that was
gosh.
a while ago. It was popping off for the longest time though.
Dude, like I put it lightly, like it was for its time, like it was peak for that vintage look if you're really into
Hmm.
making like vintage looking content. But I would
Hmm.
sit there for a whole day and I'd probably generate like 1,000 different, like, and all the clips are 3 second long. So it's like
Yeah.
you gotta be, it's hard to like just take a second of that. Cause like most stuff now, if you get like a 5, 10 second clip, even if only like 2 seconds of that is, usable, I would
Hmm.
take that and use it for like when I was doing the image to video, like the Dark Fantasy Dream Core, like using music. All I needed
Hmm.
was like 1.6 seconds, depending on the song and the beat and all that stuff. But back to Pika, it's like, dude, you gotta like sit there and like generate like 1,000, no exaggeration, like 1,000 different clips, and you might
Hmm.
get one if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Like 1 second of one clip that you can use out of all that. But
Yeah.
they're getting better now from what I've heard or whatever. Like I've been checking them out lately, and it looks like they really stepped up. And another one was Luma.
Oh gosh, is it mainstream now? Can you use it now, everyone?
Dude, I'll be honest with you. When I was doing Dark Fantasy, that's what I started using, and that's what set me apart from the pack. That's like what blew me up, is I was using Luma because
Mm.
it's funny because it's almost like the perfect app for like me, or not app, but
Hmm.
software. Because like
Yeah.
I'm always a simple prompt kind of person. Like I like sitting there and just, if I can, the less words I can use, if it gives me precisely what I want, then so be it. And so that's what I started doing with Lumen. I was like, dude, this works for me. Why didn't it work for no one else? Because I was getting crisp movement and all this other stuff whenever Dark Fantasy, before it
Yeah.
became like what it is now. And they actually improved lately too. Like I seen that they had a new update. I actually have a clip. I don't know if I've uploaded it on Instagram or not, but it's the one of the owls that was made with Luma. It looks
Oh
so
yeah.
real. It looks so
Luma
real. I
was
was like,
something I used a long time ago, but like, what do Luma and Pika bring to the table these days, as opposed to Kling and Hyrule, and not even Runaway is actually entering the game pretty strong too.
yeah. I used Runway 3 when it came out a lot too. It was awesome for image
Yeah.
to video, and um but lately all I've used, like the last thing I used for image to video before I switched to text to video was Hailu. I always thought it was Hailu. I didn't know how to pronounce it. Sorry.
It's actually
But
Hyrule, like a sea
oh,
like a sea snail. Hai means
oh,
ocean, and lore is like luosi, it's like one of those snails in the ocean. Because I'm Chinese,
Um,
so
Southern accent, so it's like, not the
That's
best
cool.
combination of words, but
Love it. Which state are you from?
Tennessee.
Ah, dope, dope. I'm originally from Texas.
Oh, that's cool. The other T state.
Yeah, it's pretty
Um,
far though, right? I think you're
oh yeah,
closer to like the Midwest or mid East,
I'm southeast, but
Southeast. Oh, well, yeah,
same
my
difference. Same
geography.
difference. I mean, who cares?
Yeah, my
I'm from that
geography is
place.
notoriously. That's
Same.
crazy. Yeah.
But
Mm.
as far as like what I see Luma and all these bringing to the table, it's like, I mean, if they can, if it can create, because I've created two clips, but I've got to figure out how to prompt it right. Because I thought at first maybe it's going to be simple like how it used to be for the image to video,
Yeah.
but I just got to play around and see. But I got this one of a sloth I haven't uploaded yet. I can send it
Hmm.
to you, or if you want to use it for something, you can. I'm not going to particularly use it, but it looks so. I thought about starting a whole new niche or whatever. I don't know if it's a new niche, but starting, new content myself on like doing like nature documentary looking stuff. But yeah, I
Mm.
mean, if they really up the ante, they can step in for text to video. As far as I don't do a lot of testing for image to video these days, so I'm kind of about the wrong guy to ask for that stuff. But I can just tell you like what
Yeah.
I've used in the past and what worked for me. But again, just about any of the
Yeah.
top softwares that are out now, any of them are good, really. There's not a wrong choice.
Yeah, you do. The image to video is definitely gonna. My prediction, I can see it overtaking text to video because a lot of content creators you see on social, deep inside, like if you ask them, like they probably won't tell you, but like deep inside, they probably just want to be filmmakers, but they never got a
Yeah.
chance. And it's like if you can create consistency and through imagery, like with specific camera model and specific
Hmm.
lenses and specific lighting styles, and you can just animate that with Kling, dude.
It's true. Like I can definitely see that being
Yeah.
like the top thing. Which company do you think
Mm.
possibly would be the breakthrough for image to video, like as far as like the whole animation process? Because I don't really see anything out. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Stable Diffusion is really strong, and Flux AI are really, really good image or text to image softwares as
Yeah.
well. But I think Midjourney is like, cream of the crop in my opinion. Of course, like there's other options, but I've always just kind of been a Midjourney dude because like I don't know, I
Mm-hmm.
found my style in there pretty easily and it wasn't that hard at all to find. And I still pay for it to this day, even though I don't use it hardly that often unless I'm just making profile pictures or fun stuff for
Yeah.
friends and stuff like that. But which company do you think is going to be the go-to for animating image to video stuff?
Animating. So that would be like basically video AI, right? To be honest, Hylule came out of nowhere. Kling came out of nowhere.
Mhm.
Dude, they're coming out of nowhere. So
It's
it
really
could either
hard.
be like it could either be a brand new player, or it could be a player that's like been quietly building this whole time, and
Like
then just like
Pika,
throw some. Yeah,
come back out of
like
nowhere.
freaking Luma, like freaking
Yeah,
Luma, right? Like
yeah.
that came out of nowhere. It's cinematic. What the heck?
Hmm.
No one, no
Dude.
one, no one expected it.
They carried me to like whole new heights when it came out because no one else was using it. And I was like, it put me
Mm.
on like, because I was a novice then. And when I started using it, it put my content on the same level, if not above, like some of the top ones that were, using
Wow.
Runway and Pika at the time. It put me like right there on either the same playing field or maybe even better in some stuff. Like, you ought to go check out my old stuff, man. I think you'd really, really dig it. But
Yeah, I looked through some of it. It was
yeah.
it was a it was a pretty far scroll back
Oh,
on
dude.
your TikTok, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, it's it's
Um,
it's it's very atmospheric. You got the colors and the tones,
that was always
really
the
really
biggest thing to me,
vintage.
colors.
So
I'm always
you
a
like horror
color kind of
content,
guy.
right? You
Oh
like
yeah, love it.
you're a huge fan of horror. Would you make a horror movie one day? Like, is that like your dream?
It's a dream. Like it wouldn't be like just
Yeah,
the only dream, but it definitely, dude, I'd be so into that. Like
yeah,
using AI to make that, dude, that's awesome. Because that's one thing I love about Instagram more than TikTok is they let you get away with more of the,
yeah,
horror stuff. And because, dude, and I don't want to say too much and like try to act like I'm dogging one or the other, but I got a lot of stuff age restricted that don't even make sense on TikTok.
hmm
It's not even got like a drop of blood.
yeah. And you
But
could fight it though. You could
I have many
yeah.
times, many times.
Yeah, sometimes I get mine. Most of the time I get mine approved, and then some of the time it doesn't. Because like I try to censor body parts that I think like when I'm in Filmora, if you have a chance and you want to do this, what I habitually do because there's so much Kling puts out very graphic stuff sometimes.
I
But
don't think I
dude,
know what you're getting at.
Kling looks so good though. Even though it's like
Mhm.
graphic, it's like super detailed. You see the veins and like the sinews like snapping
Oh
and
yeah.
stuff. It's wild. Now, what I do in Filmora is like I do motion tracking, and then you basically click on the clip, and then you under the video option, and then the AI tools under the video,
hmm
there's a thing called motion
So
capture.
that's what that does.
Yeah, and then you turn it on, and then it'll show a box on the frame you're editing your video through, and then you
hmm
just kind of change the shape of the box to fit where you want to censor, and then you press capture whatever, right? And then it'll just kind of like run through the whole video, and then every frame it'll just capture that part, and then you
Pretty
put
cool.
and then you go to effects, and then you find mosaic, and then you fit it to the box of the motion capture, and then you link the motion capture with the box in the AI tools section, and then that box, and you could change how much you want to censor because sometimes it censors too much, where it's like too solid, and then you could make it
Yeah.
like more blurry, and then it'll just follow it. So it just basically censors that part. Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. I just recently got it, but I got it because I really like the HDR thing. I thought like I've
Mm.
seen this one guy on Instagram using it for these like trippy videos. I was like, dude, I'm gonna try that with horror, but it didn't go over well on TikTok. So therefore, you got to try it
Yeah.
sometimes, and you're gonna fail, but you just gotta keep trying. But no, like what you're talking about doing is what I used to do when I was using before CapCut. I was using DaVinci Resolve or whatever. I was doing the same thing but manually, and oh my gosh, it
Mhm.
was pain in the butt. Like you'd have to like sit there and change saturation and color and all that stuff and
Mhm.
manually do it for each single thing. And
Mm.
that's cool that they got it down on Filmora and it sounds pretty simple to do.
To be honest, I'm gonna
hmm
throw my hat here. You asked me a question, right? Like which would take over. I think if Runway upped their game in terms of like the quality of the tools they have, I think they're gonna win because they have the interface, like they have the whole space, right? And they got
hmm
so that's the good thing about Runway is they have so many dope tools. But
And they've been
again,
around.
here is an example, right? I tried a lip syncing video on
hmm
Runway, the same the same audio file and video and image file I use on Kling. Kling just dominated, right?
Uh,
But Kling is only text to video, image to video, right?
hmm
So if Runway was able to like up the quality of like all of their tools, then they're just gonna win because nobody wants to open like a million tabs in their freaking Chrome browser. You know what I'm saying? Like no one wants to do that. You
Yeah,
just
no, I
open
hear
one in
you.
Runway, right? And then
And
you've got
plus
everything.
they got unlimited. And I think honestly
Yeah.
that's a huge driving factor and stuff. The only thing like see
Yeah.
I used Runway. I did the whole like what I'm doing now on Runway. The only
Hmm.
problem was that Runway didn't have 9 to 16, which was the only thing that was killing it. Like, there's some people
Yeah.
I've seen that actually blew up on TikTok using 916 Runway found footage stuff, but um,
Now it
I
does.
don't. Oh, it does now. I haven't bought it since because I've been having to spend my money on Clean and
Yeah, I understand that. I
oh
understand
and
how fast the
Hailu.
credits will go.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, Hilo is better in that sense where like you don't have to
But,
worry about pumping out 5 videos every 10 minutes, 11 minutes, right?
no, yeah, they're good too. They're also really, really good at text to video for like what I do too. They're really good. It's just the one thing they don't have. I don't think they have 916 yet for
No.
text to video, but they're really, really good. And my friend Cryptid Affair, he's on TikTok, whatever. He has some stuff that he did with iLude text to video, and it's like doing the. I don't know if you've seen it. Have you seen the whole like niche for like Ring doorbell camera found footage stuff?
Oh, that's him?
No, it's not. Well, he's done some of it, but that's where that
Yeah.
comes from. Is from Hailu, or however you say it, Hailu. That's where a lot of that comes from. Well, at least his did, but I'm pretty sure that's what the others were using too, because they look the same. Like there's this specific. You can kind of like when you do it long enough, you can kind of tell the art style of like one versus the other. Like you can easily tell a clean clip from, you know,
Yeah.
anything else.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
And
people don't share what they're using, but we all know what it is because
yeah,
why? It's got the same camera model, it's got the same camera lens, and it's got the same lighting style for every video, which is okay. It is limited in that sense, but it's
yeah,
unlimited in what you're able to imagine, which it brings to vivid, real detail that no other platform can compete with right now. No, like no
exactly.
one comes close to Kling
That
in that
flashlight
sense.
look I get, that's all clean. Like
Yeah.
I've only been able to get that look with Kling, like where it looks like there's a flashlight beam spotting something out, and it looks actually authentic. And so
How
I
do
think
you
that's the
word
best.
your phrase to get it that good? But if it's a
I
trade secret, then don't tell anyone. You know what I'm saying? Keep it to
Yeah,
yourself.
no, I can't say everything like that because then there'll be a lot of
Yeah.
mini me's out there on the market. But um, oh
Hey, so
man,
your friend is doing AI too, right? Is he killing it too?
he was whenever. Well, I don't know if it get him in trouble or not, but it's like he got rid of his account once TikTok was potentially going to get banned, so now it's in someone else's hands. But he's currently doing stuff on YouTube now, trying to. He started doing this. I don't know if you've seen the niche, but it's like brain rot music, like basically like taking Instagram
Uh,
comments and stuff and turn it
Suno,
into like
right?
an AI song. Yeah, he started doing that
Yeah.
stuff, and um, I think he's gonna start trying to like teach also like how to like do stuff. Because honestly, he taught me everything I knew like starting out. He's
Yeah.
taught me everything I knew, and I swear this dude's so smart. Like he's the one that does the coding stuff that I told you about.
Oh,
And
we should get him on. We should get him on sometime.
yeah,
That'd be fun.
he'll probably be down.
We could talk shop. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Because
yeah,
like
dude, man. I'd be the
I've been
dumbest one in the room though.
now, dude. You came a long way. Your TikTok is huge, man. Not many creators can get that big just from doing AI. Like not many at all.
Took a lot of failures and just not giving up, man. That's like the biggest thing about it. It's like you're gonna put out stuff that sucks, but the biggest thing is like just not giving up because like eventually you're gonna
Mm,
find like because you know how it is. It's like first you start out by like trying to mimic somebody else, not copy per se, but like do it in your own style, but like in this trend. And then you
yeah.
try to like really set yourself apart, and it's like your stuff's gonna flop, but eventually you're gonna have one just hit like that, and that's all it takes is just one hit. And as soon as that hit happens, you can just keep running with that one thing. Just keep running it out as long as you don't give up, and you'll eventually get to a point where you can try different things. Because that's how I built my account. I started out with one thing, tried many different things, so I can really do just about any niche that I want, and I ain't got to worry about the algorithm, not placing me in the right spots,
Yeah.
just because of the diversity that I've been putting out.
That's dope. That's a good advice. You just gotta come to bat enough times. You
Hmm.
swing enough times, and something will hit. Right.
Learn from your mistakes, really, because like as long as you fail and learn from it, like that's the biggest thing. You just got to be like, okay, why did this fail, or why did this do good? And if you can break that down, you're good to go.
So you now use audio, right, for
Hmm.
your videos. Do you use trending audio from the app selection, or do you create your own from UDO or some other place?
Now I just create my own sounds. Like I don't not music, but like actual sound effects of like, well, yeah, you see my videos. Like when something's walking, it
Mm.
sounds like Tom footstep, and you hear like growls and all that stuff, and yada yada
Mm.
yada. I just do my own now. I
Do
did
you
I did use
find
a lot
that
of music.
do you find that performs better than your Did you do A/B testing where like you did the exact same videos, but like for some of them you did the trending audio on, whatever platform, and then the other video you did like the sound you made?
I'm gonna be honest, I'm really like reckless when it comes to stuff. Like I just try, and if it fails, it fails. If it works, it works. But
Mm.
really what it was I was using music for a while there, and I seen my views were dropping on TikTok, and I'm like, and
Yeah.
also you know how it is like on TikTok, if you get pushed to outside of your country or somewhere else, your rates drop, like what you make drop. And
Mm.
I was just like, well, I got nothing really to lose. I'm gonna try doing my own sound to see if people really like that or if they prefer music. Sure enough, as
Hmm.
soon as I changed to my own sounds, I got like a video with like millions of views, and it just seems like people like it because it adds that more layer to the scary aspect of it because it's like not only does it look real, it sounds real and the sounds match up to the video, and it's like, you know,
Hmm.
that's the hardest part with AI horror is like you gotta. It's not like you're deceiving anyone, but it's like it's better to if they don't find out that it's AI until after they watch the video. Is like the way I look at it. So that's why on my bio I have if you like my AI content, follow me, yada yada yada. Instead of
Yeah.
like, so I don't think they force you to market as AI or whatever, unless it's like actual people and etc. But
Yeah.
I think that takes away from the scary aspect. If I'll open a video and it's like, oh well, this is AI. That's not going to be, that's not real, so that's not scary.
Hmm.
At least that's
I
my
mean,
take on it.
some platforms do a better job than others in terms
Mm,
of telling the people through like on-screen text that this is AI. Some are blatant about it, some are subtle about it, some don't really put it that forward. And I guess for the platforms that don't put it that forward, you'll notice that you get a lot of comments like, "Oh, this is fake," because there's
oh
no
yeah,
warning.
dude,
That's obvious for people to see. There's no
so
warning
many.
sign, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Um,
That's fair. But I mean, they always
mhm.
ask in the comments, so like, is this AI? And I'm always like, yes, this is AI. Or, you know, like if
Yeah.
they literally read through like just the first few comments on my videos, at least on TikTok, there's someone either telling you it's AI or someone asking it's AI, and it's me myself answering the question, yes, this is
Hmm.
AI. And but yeah, I get a lot of the fake things like this is fake, this is fake. It's a guy in a costume. And I'm like, well, you're wrong. But
Do
those are
you
my favorites.
yeah, my favorite funny thing about Kling is that like I get so many of these outputs where it's like it does look like a dude in the costume, and it's
I
sometimes
think it
it
makes
looks
it creepy.
completely yeah, it's creepy and unsettling, but sometimes it's funny if what you're
Oh, dude.
outputting like a
Yeah.
huge flower on the head, you know, like a huge flower face, and then like there's like a body wiggling around behind it, you know.
Dude, I
Uh,
gotta show you my old Pika stuff. Like, dude, that stuff was so like that stuff was so like talk about Morse and stuff. I did a whole like because like when I get annoyed like trying to do generate that stuff, I get
yeah.
mad. I was like, okay, well if it's gonna give me a bullshit prompt, I'm just gonna sit here and give them our bullshit clip. You know, I'm gonna give them the same thing back to them in a prompt. And I did like a whole bunch of like Steve Irwin, Crocodile Hunter top prompts and dude, you got to
Uh,
see how bad these are, and you can upload them, do whatever you want. They're hilarious. Like you would be astounded like to see how crazy these things are.
wow. Um,
But
yeah, that's dope, man. That's
mm,
dope. Yeah, no, I'm glad that we use a lot of the same kind of tools, which is great because we can kind of bounce ideas and kind of tell each other our experiences with these tools.
yeah,
Dude,
we
I
both have
I
our own
really
styles too.
yeah, yeah. I've been really into Udio lately and just using, GPT to prompt text to audio for me and just like changing up the way it sounds. Udio is just like it spits out some really great stuff. I'm not sure if you use it.
Is
But
it more for
for what you
music
pay
or
for,
sound effects?
music.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out because I don't really do much music now, but I know my friend could probably really get into that if it does like.
Yeah, like if I have too many outputs of the same or similar style in a video, and I don't want to make like a 5 second video for every one of those just because they're all so similar, even though they're
Mhm.
good, they're all just too similar, and there might be 20 clips. I'll just put them together and just edit them to the beat of a UDO sound that I make. Just because I don't have time to add a sound to every one of those. Because I notice when I do 11 labs and like add sound effects to my own videos, it's like I notice I have like, dude, I notice the sound effects take longer to make than the video itself.
That's
Yeah.
how I felt before when I was doing image to video, like, because I did the same thing, like what you're talking about, like where you get so many that you like, and you're just like, man. But that's where I start like making different videos. I'd get like 6 or 4 images per every prompt with Midjourney. I'm like, dude, I cannot just choose one. I'll take off four, split them up into 4 different videos, and like go next prompt, same thing if I can, if you find that much. But that's funny though that it's just like that though. It's like it's coming full circle to the sound now the same way.
Mm. Yeah, like what mid journey tips do you have? I'm really awful at the image stuff.
Well, what I used to do, like what I did was like I would go and watch, like back then I was watching like a lot of stuff, and I was like I would try to find somebody's style whose aesthetic that I really really love, like the textures or something like that. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, and I'll go try to see like if I could find it on the site because they have on there like where you can search and you can see, you know, a lot of people's like where they're testing stuff to figure out like testing the images and stuff, and you can see all the prompts and stuff. What I would do is I would take that and then try to put my own spin on it with like my own style and create like a
Mm-hmm.
fusion of sorts. Because then you, it's like that's the biggest gripe I have about like people that do what we do is like a lot of them don't want to try to like be unique or different. They all just want to be you, exactly like you, instead of like creating something new and cool. And I feel like that's what kind of helped me out was being different, cool, unique. Is just trying stuff. It's like not everyone else is doing it, but if it works, then everyone's gonna be copying me. But as far as helpful tips, it'd be like doing stuff like that, like finding your style. It's like the aesthetics, and then like like trying to find something like an art style that you really, really dig, and then like even like real actual images or real art, you can like take that, put it into Midjourney, and it'll tell you like what it'll give you kind of like a rough prompt that will create an image that's like similar,
Mm-hmm.
not exact. Then you just
Yeah.
take that and refine it basically, or use like let's say you get that prompt from that image from doing describe. You take
Mm-hmm.
that prompt that it gives you, take out the keywords, remove the part that describes the image, and then you can like also get like an S reference, which is like taking like let's say you like a scene from a movie like one of them I used like an image from what was it? What's that movie? Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I really like the textures of it. Use that
Mm.
as an S reference with my prompt, and I was getting all this like if you look at my Halloween stuff, that's what all that stuff is from.
What is I see a lot of S references and like mood board
Style
stuff. Like I have
reference.
no idea. Ah, got it. Got it. Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
I'm like
There's
so not.
like
I'm so not
S
novice.
reference, there's C reference, which is your character reference. And that's
Mm.
like if you're like trying to like make a like let's say I want this character like when I was doing like the dark fantasy movies, I wanted some of my characters to look just like they did like the actual
Hmm.
movie characters. And
Yeah.
that's where C reference comes in. And there's like a setting you can do like the amount of weight, like your
Hmm.
style reference and your or your character reference. You can put a weight. I usually use a low number because that way it's not like completely mimicking this person's style. It's just
Hmm.
taking like the aesthetics from it and then it makes it my own by fusing it with my prompt and so on and so forth. And you can do that with character reference as well.
Oh, okay.
There's really a
That's
lot
dope.
to it. Like there's so you can do so much with Midjourney. It's insane. Like because I have like my own styles, like same prompts, just different S reference or different keywords, and I
Hmm.
would use those prompts over and over, and I'd create whole new things.
Do you do like the editor feature on YouTube? Like, do you? I mean, not on YouTube. In Midjourney, do you ever use that to edit your images?
I did a time or two before,
Hmm.
like if they'd have like an extra limb or something like that, I'd sometimes be like, "Yo, remove this, please." And
Yeah.
but really, it's like thing is like most times when I would animate them, you wouldn't even notice it. So it's like sometimes I wouldn't care too much to do it, or
Hmm.
it just depends on how big of a notice it is, really. Like if it's something that's just blatant obvious, is like, okay, this has got to be removed. Like if you see something like with like 10 fingers on one hand, you got to do something with that.
Mm.
But I didn't do a
Yeah.
whole lot of it though.
Yeah. That's wild. That's great, man. I mean, I was thinking of just bringing on a few other, maybe like one or two other people, just talking to different creators really opens. I don't know if you feel that way when you talk to different people. It's like, okay, that's interesting. Okay, that's how you use it. That's your view on it. Here's my view on it. Here's how I use it. It's interesting. So, I
Yeah.
definitely wanted to talk to you because you were one of the first creators I saw on TikTok doing the Kling stuff with the creatures. And a lot of
Mhm.
creators, I think, followed after you on
Um,
that.
I wouldn't
I
say I'm the
think.
first because there's
Hmm.
others like I've seen
Yeah.
others that did it, but I didn't really like follow nobody's footsteps. I just, I seen that it was like, I thought I saw it and I liked it. I liked how it looked. I was like, dude, I could probably use this for some like cool
Yeah.
looking found footage looking stuff. And I just tried my own style. I just wanted to make something like two things I love doing is either A, making someone laugh or B, scaring scaring somebody. And so I seen that it had great potential with horror and stuff like that. And that's where I, just thought about like, okay, I'm gonna start trying to start out with like cryptids and stuff because that's what me and my buddy was doing originally. Like when I first started was like
Yeah.
asking AI to draw like monsters from every state, based on like the cryptids, the folklore and urban legends and stuff like that. And I was like, well, it's just full circle. It's kind of ironic because here I'm doing this again. And
Hmm.
I thought like, seeing Kling's style and I was like, that looks very good. I'm gonna try and see what it can do for me. And also it's just nice to get out of doing. It's like, I mean, personally, like with as much as I was uploading, doing image to video just took so much of my time because you have to sit there and generate. And I was generating like per video, like 60 images from like not counting all four, but like one image from each, with Midjourney. I was doing like
Yeah.
60 images and then having to turn around and animate all of those. And it would just take up so much time. And the views versus the time it took to do that
Mm.
just wasn't worth it compared to just being able to do a text to video. And the only thing at the time
Oh.
that was capable was Kling, because like
Hmm.
the runway thing, so many people jumped on that ship when it, started popping off.
Yeah.
And there's only a couple of people doing Kling, but I wasn't the first, but I definitely didn't, copy someone outright or nothing like that. Like when you're using Kling, it's like you said, like when you're doing it, no matter what, it always looks so similar to everybody else's because that's just like how it generates. There's just slight little things you can do to make yours stand out, and that's what I kind
Mm.
of did with the flashlight thing. And I guess that's
Mm.
what you picked. That's what you kind of picked up on too. Is like
Hmm.
I always kind of use that flashlight look because it makes it adds that
Hmm.
scary, realistic look to it. And the fact that Kling is good enough to be able to create shadows, and you know
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
basically
It's
that. But
yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
no, that's all it really is. I was just gonna make sure though. I don't want to take credit as like the first one to start doing it because maybe in my style they're doing it like with the flashlight and stuff like that. Maybe, but I wasn't the
Yeah.
first to start doing like different weird, creepy stuff with Kling. By all means.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's just getting weirder and weirder, even though it
Oh yeah.
looks like I don't think anyone minds the camera model being the exact same, the lens being the exact. I don't think they mind. I think it's
Hmm.
like, what are you creating that I have never imagined could be created? It's like
Yeah.
how much of that can you do? To what degree can you do that? Will determine like how long re- you maintain my attention. That's
Hmm.
just like how I see it. It's like, oh wow, that is very creative. I never thought that never crossed my mind.
Our content's a little bit different. That's what I like about yours is that like you go for the more of like how crazy you can make stuff. Like what can you make it do? And mine, I've always had just the simple mindset of like how real can I make this thing look just to scare people? Because that's like that's like what the horror thing is like the more real it looks, the more scary it is. Like where yours, I've seen your stuff like what was it the one you did recently? It's like a mermaid or something that looked insane.
Oh,
Um,
like was it yesterday? I don't know.
it might have been. I remember
Yeah.
watching like just seeing it come across my Instagram reels. And I was like, dude, this guy's like insane. Like I'd say you're probably better at me at animations and stuff like that, man. Because like mine are just like stuff walking or I had some little flares here and there, but
I
compared to
mean,
like
I'll be
your
honest.
stuff is awesome.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. No, I definitely got inspired by you too. So how I did it with mine is I just like, before the ChatGPT video thing came out, I was just
Hmm.
talking to it and just telling it like, hey, this is what I see. And I was describing what I saw without showing GPT my camera. And then it just I told it to organize it for me. Hey, like, okay, that's kind of what I said, but I'm not gonna copy and paste that into the prompt to make a Kling video. I need you to organize that. I need you to make it AI friendly. And
Hmm.
then it just started from there. So it's not really me prompting, it's just like the AI doing it. It's just like the fact that I thought of doing that might have
Hmm.
helped me make those. I'm saying like the fact that I just handed this off to, GPT to do that,
And
you
that's
know?
what pretty much everyone does is like, I mean, you got to think about like
Yeah.
how art is. It's like it always, to me, art, it starts in the mind. It's like what you think and however you get it out to like where everyone else can see it, that's,
Mhm.
it's whatever. It's like what you think of like how imaginative you are because like I was doing the same thing. Like I'd like come up with an original prompt, put in GPT and then like get more like it or, and then just test it and
Yeah.
pick out which images I think fit what I was trying to go for. But, you gotta try Sora. Have you done the Sora remix thing, like where you take like a video and then remix it?
There is a Sora is it's like the steepest learning curve
It
of any
really is.
text to video, man.
It
There's
really
four,
is.
four
But
videos,
it's
like
video to
one
video though.
video,
That's pretty crazy, man. Like I seen,
480p.
dude, that's what has me interested in like. See, I've only got like where because I pay for GPT, so I got like free
Yeah.
access to Sora and stuff. So I only use that. I haven't really paid for the unlimited
Oh
you know,
man.
the big cream of the crop. Because I saw the 1080p, I'm like, dude, I'm tempted, but I gotta
Yeah.
gotta be smart here and try to, you know, try to stick with what's working for me for now. But they have the thing called, I think it's like video to video, like where you take a video and then you can like send it to Sora and they'll remix it and like add, you know,
Yeah.
all sorts of
I,
crazy stuff to it.
I haven't had luck with what I've tried. I'll say that. But that's just my incompetence, right?
It
Uh,
takes time.
but Sora kills it with horror. It is
I'm gonna
scary
look into it.
because anything handheld,
Hmm.
Sora does a. It's freaky, man. Yeah, it does really good handheld, like found footage handheld iPhone quality content. Like it looks like
Right.
it was filmed from an iPhone. It's like what?
Do you think the TP version, like, do you think that really makes a huge difference, or do you think like, because I mean, like, you know, everyone's already
Yeah.
uploading like CP, and that's pretty much like what everyone's used to. So it's like
Mm,
I thought about like going with the unlimited, but it's like, you know, like you said, it's a kind of a steep, you know,
yeah.
thing, and it's like I just if I can see that it's worth it or come up with some cool stuff for it that I think people are gonna like, man, I'll jump all over that in a heartbeat.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, GPT's become such an integral part of my life that I cannot imagine paying $20 for it because I don't want to be skimped out on. You know, it's like it's such a part of my life. Like I don't want to miss out. So a lot of money, like
Understandable.
I put a lot of money back into AI, man. You know, because
Hmm.
I'm all
Oh,
in. You know what I'm saying?
me too.
So yeah, I
I'm
still make comedy every now and then, but it's like, dude, this AI stuff, it's
it's
like
fun. It
it's
allows everyone to
yeah,
basically be able to like
yeah.
create art or just, you know, express themselves in different way, or just make like shit. You can sit there and make like videos that only you and your friends are gonna enjoy. It's like you have the ability to do that, and like that's like been my mindset all along. It's like I'm just gonna create cool stuff, and if people like it, great. If not, as long as I like it, I can be proud of it.
Yeah. I like that. It's like you are your own audience, right? You know, I was like I kind of gave OpenAI the benefit of the doubt when it came to shipping new stuff and they did not disappoint because Sora Unlimited is like it's dope and I've created content from that and
Mhm.
that's on social, but they just announced O3
Ooh.
rolling out to users in the US. I think it should be this week, right? O3 mini or something. Don't
Hmm.
take my word for that. You know, double check, but I mean, they're shipping O3
Hmm.
and we're on O1 right now. So just imagine, you know, the amount of prompting, better prompting it could do for me.
That's gonna
You
be
know?
awesome, dude. Like, cause like
Yeah.
that was the one thing I struggled with GPT was like, I noticed like when you like pick a genre, like for example, let's say horror or dark fantasy, you'll get kind of a repetitive character and location. Like I kept getting clowns and carnivals and stuff like that,
Hmm.
and it was just like no matter what I did, I would get at some point I would always end up with the same kind of characters or locations and stuff. And I'm hoping that's what O3 is gonna fix. Is gonna be like, you know, whole new, just a whole new world basically. It's gonna really open the doors for niches that I've done in the past that I kind of just, you know, hit the ceiling on, and I'll be able to
Mm,
go back and revisit that stuff if it's as capable as you're acting like it is. I'm going to check into that.
yeah. Dude, the O1 the what is it? Canvas mode is pretty wild too. It's like on okay, let's say you like wrote something. Or maybe
Hmm.
you wrote a screenplay for your horror film, right? And
Right.
then you can change the style of who you want it to be more like or the kind of style overall. Like and on the left side you have a tab where you talk to GPT and then on the right side you have the document and it's all on the same screen. You
Hmm.
say, you know, boldface all the words on the left, you know, which is like exterior, outdoors, you know, wide shot, close up, right? And then
Mm.
it'll just like you'll just go from the top and then you'll see it, it'll just like change everything in real time. It's like, holy crap. Like, holy crap.
That sounds pretty crazy, man.
Yeah, and then
Like,
you could
dude,
it
the
just
stuff
changes
I'm
the
just picturing in
document.
my head as you're talking, like I'm just thinking of all this different stuff. Like I having ideas pop up in my head. I'm just like,
Yeah.
hmm, revisiting some old stuff. That sounds like it'd solve all my problems that I used to have.
I mean, you probably wrote some short stories that were scary, and then you know you might want a GPT to kind
Mhm.
of rewrite it for you in any way you can imagine. You know.
Yeah, that sounds pretty awesome. Oh, that reminds me. It's like with that one video I did. I don't. It should be on Instagram. I'm not sure, but I don't know if you've seen it. It's like it was an ICP song, like clowns or
Mhm.
whatever. And what I did was I took the song itself. I fed like like a verse of it to GPT. I was like, okay, create me some image prompts using the lyrics from this song, and then I made the song. Like I basically made a music video using that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Like it's pretty crazy. Like it came out pretty good, and a lot of people messed with it. And it's like that's all you got to do. Literally, is like you can just take an idea of like, okay, I like this song. I'm a create a video based on this song instead of trying to like come up with the whole vibe yourself. It's like you can come up with an idea, use the lyrics from the song to make it match your story, and then basically your story will end up
Oh,
fitting the song, and it's pretty
that's
dope.
that's a dope that's a dope concept and angle to kind of start from, is to
Yeah,
build from that perspective, build from that angle where it's like the song or the idea behind the song becomes the foundation of the video, right?
that's kind of like
Where it's
where all my
like,
stuff stemmed from. Really, it's like so like when I was doing the dark fantasy and like the I don't know if you see my cultist horror style looking vintage horror.
mhm.
But I would just listen to a song on Spotify and I'd be like, that's the song. I'm feeling that song and I'm making a video that's gonna fit to that song. And that's how I did most of my videos really for the longest
Yeah.
until what I do now. But yeah.
Yo, I would love to continue this conversation. Maybe like we can revisit this pretty soon. Yeah, see your friend is free. If your buddy is free, if he wants to join us for like a three-way chat or something. But yeah, where can people follow you, man?
I'm on YouTube at Fiendcore 93, Instagram, same thing. Mostly on TikToks, like where I'm the most active, and that's just straight up Fiendcore. Like you'll know which one's me. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, and Lemonade, but I really that's whatever.
Yeah, yeah. That's dope. That's dope. Well, it was great chatting. And all right, man. Guys, check him out. Fiendcore. He's a dope text to video and text to image/image to video AI creator. He's blowing up on social media. Check him out across platforms. And I really appreciate him being here today. So, all right, guys. Talk to y'all soon.